I'm gonna go on a little bit of a side tangent.
Go for it.
And this is a video that I've got to do on the Lukeness TV channel. Shout out, go check out that channel.
There's a Lukeness TV channel? Please tell me more.
We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. Go check it out. Link in the description. But you know,
should that be the cold open?
Sure, if you want to.
Good job. That was a good clap. Good job.
Thank you.
I'd give you a round of applause, but then that would mess up the sync.
Mess up the sound, yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster, and as always, I'm joined with my podcast co-host.
Hello, I am not Lukenessmonster.
No,
I'm side.
But today, your side. Did I say Lukenessmonster?
You did.
My podcast co-host, Lukenessmonster?
No, I was just making a joke.
Oh, I thought I like said like my podcast co-host, Lukenessmonster. And you're like, I'm not Lukenessmonster. I'm joined with my podcast co-host, Sidequester.
But what if I was Lukenessmonster?
It's like it's like looking in a mirror.
Oh man, if this is your future, you're so screwed.
Today we have a really exciting episode because we actually have our 3rd year anniversary. I guess technically is it our 3rd year or 2nd year?
3rd year.
It's the start of our 3rd year with Summer in Space. So our first ever episode was about BlackSeries turkeys, essentially BlackSeries figures that are stinkers. They're not good figures. And yeah, this is going to be the 3rd year now of carrying on that tradition. So we each picked out 10 BlackSeries figures that released in 2025. They had a release, of course, this year. But 10 BlackSeries figures that we don't think quite lived up to the standards of the BlackSeries. And we also have some anti-turkeys here too, or basically some figures that stood out this year that are some of the best that was ever made. So excited to talk about that. But
that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I think we're might have a little controversy, maybe some choices that we don't necessarily agree with.
David just doesn't like things that are good and fun.
I want all of my figures to be 2013 to 2019 designs, pin legs, no photo reel, 1 accessory max. That's the future of the BlackSeries.
Sounds like a grim future.
Could you imagine? Oof. What if that becomes like their throwback line, their retro line? It's just like, hey, these are the worst.
Yeah, there's just like no, like fully pinned, no photo reel.
Oof. Oh man, some of those figures were bad. We should do like an ultimate turkeys, like not just 2025.
Worst of all time.
Worst of all time. Oh man, maybe that'll be next year.
That'd be a fun episode.
It would be. All right, buddy. What do you have for your? Do you want to go from, I guess, the least?
Yeah, the least Turkish.
All right, least Turkish.
Yep. The number 10 spot, I gave it to Farm Boy Luke Skywalker, and I really love this figure from the neck down. It's a really good figure, pinless look, great articulation. But the head looks like he has seen the beaches of Normandy and he's shell shocked. He can't ever unsee it. And so, you know, I did a head swap. I swapped his head with the Yavin Ceremony Luke because that thing was dirt cheap. And now it's a great figure. I personally love it now. But you know, with that factory release with the horrible face sculpt and the weird hair, it's got to get the number 10 spot.
Wow. You know, it's funny. As soon as you said it, I immediately thought of he looks like season 1 Will Byers from the Upside Down.
He does.
Time to make a custom. Wow. You know, they're obviously the I don't think the head sculpt is bad. I think the hair sculpt, and I think the face paint is bad on that. I think if they redid the eyes so that it was less, they sometimes they do this thing where like they do the face printing and then they add like a little bit extra to the eyes to make them a little bigger, and that helps with you being able to see the detail, to see what the character is. But sometimes they go a little bit overboard, and this is one of those instances. So I agree with you in that regard, but he is not on my list.
I didn't think so.
I actually really like that figure despite its faults. It's perfectly flawed in my mind. Yeah. My number 10 is actually, and this is a figure that I do like, but I just think that because of the way that they released it, and because it's an old figure that they've redone several times, it's the Bausch disguise Leia from the Shadows of the Empire 2-pack. Okay. I love that they did the updated head sculpt, and the photo reel on it looks great. But the rest of the figure is just, what did you say earlier? Buns?
Buns.
The rest of the figure is buns. I do like the fact that, I mean, they've gone to the effort of modifying that figure over the years. They made her shorter. They changed the legs. They changed the head sculpt. I think this is the third
this is
head sculpt.
I don't know if the archive one has a new head sculpt or if it's just photo real.
It might be just photo real. But I thought they changed, and I know they at one point they changed the helmet. They redid the helmet.
I think, but I'm so, I think they did photo real for the archive release, and they made her shorter, and then the 2-pack release, she's that same shorter body, but she's got the new head and the new helmet.
Okay. But at that point, just make a new figure.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
And that's what, because it's such an iconic scene. Yes. We're only on number 10 and I already threw the iconic out. It's such a well-known moment for the movie, even though she's only in that costume for a brief time. But then also in Shadows of the Empire, like she wears that suit, and so there's longevity out of that mold. And I would think that you would just make a new one. Like if you're going to all that trouble, make a new one, and then they could have re-released it as a single card down the line and for single box.
I'm just surprised they didn't do that for the 40th of Return of the Jedi, because I mean, at that point they were assuming the Rancor was going to get backed, and so I would have assumed they wanted a new Bouche layout for that anyway. But
I'm surprised they didn't release a lot of figures for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
including the Jedi, Luke. They should.
I've got a theory about this. This is a little bit of a sidetrack.
No, go for it.
But you remember the 40th anniversary waves? There was a wave of 5, a wave of 5, and then a wave of 4 figures. One of those figures disappeared. My thought is that it was supposed to be that Jedi Knight Luke from Jabba's palace. They were going to have it in the Rancor and that exclusive card back, and then it was also going to get a 40th anniversary release. But since the Rancor didn't get funded, it didn't get that extra carded release. And that's why there's just only 4 figures in that wave.
Or what if they were going to release it as a single card, but they pulled it from that wave because at the last minute they were trying to get people to buy the Rancor. And then when they pulled it out of the wave, they already figured out what they were going to do to fill that wave for mass release. And then the Rancor didn't end up funding. And so they're like, oh, and maybe that's why it went the way of the so many HasLabs.
Yeah, it's just weird that there was only 4 in that wave. But.
Good point. All right, number 9. What do you have?
Number 9 spot. I gave it to the single release of the Ronin.
He almost made my list.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What's your reasoning?
I don't think it's a bad figure, but I just think it's a pointless release. The color, the show was never in color, so why is there a colored release of this figure? Like, if anything, they should have just released it like the black and white version as a single release. There's no reason that they should have got like a colorized version. I just think that's stupid. And you know, if I want the Ronin, anybody who's like a fan of the Ronin enough to go and buy a figure of it, they're just gonna buy the Celebration exclusive version that already exists.
Right.
So.
No, I agree. I actually, as we get further down my list, there's a lot of things that I have that I don't think they're bad figures. I just think that the way that they came out is not how they should have been released, and that's exactly my point. Is why waste a slot in a single boxed Black Series release for something like that, when I mean they could have done a colorized 2-pack that wasn't exclusive to the Star Wars Celebration, and have it just be the Ronin with the astromech droid, and that's like the fan channel main release. Do it that way, and then put something else out in the single boxed release that could maybe be a figure that we wouldn't normally see. You know, I just I completely agree with you on that. There's going to be a few of these that just don't work for me in that regard, including my number 9, which is the 212th clone trooper that came with the Clone Wars Obi-Wan.
Yep.
It's a good looking figure. It's on the 2020 body, so it's mildly updated. But they came out with the Yoda and Gree set, and the Gree is on the 2023 body, and it just, the Obi-Wan was already a re-release. There's nothing different about that figure except for a little bit of the paint job on the face. So why not just use the 2023 clone body, put the 212 decals on it, and then that's a figure that you have ready to go, and you can release it in a single box down the line. Not a horrible figure, but I just think the way it came out is not ideal.
Yeah, I think we could talk for a long time about the mismanagement of the Clones of the Republic line, but that might be a video for another day.
I'll put it on the list for a future episode.
But no, I completely agree. That should have been updated. Like that's one of my biggest pet peeves with Hasbro is whenever they introduce new technology and new sculpting, and then they just like refuse to use it again. Like I think a good example of this is the ball jointed wrists. Like we've gotten ball jointed wrists on several figures now, and I love ball jointed wrists. I think they're great. Why isn't every single figure, like newly sculpted figure, coming out with ball jointed wrists like they should be?
And even if they were reusing certain figures because they're updated enough, you could have a new peg that pops in place that just has the ball on it and sculpt new hands that fit onto that ball, so you could use the existing bodies and just make slight updates. So I'm right there with you. All right, moving on. What do you got for number 8?
Number 8, I gave it to the mainline Director Krennic that came out this year. This is not the Target exclusive like dress ceremony version. This is just the re-release. It is updated with photoreal, which is great. But as far as the figure goes, it's got that hard plastic cape, and it's just a re-release of the 2016 Rogue One figure. Not a bad figure. It's just now that we've gotten that updated Thrawn on the newer like Imperial officer body, I don't ever want to see a figure with pinned legs again when it comes to Imperial officers. They've got the mold for a pinless Imperial officer leg. Every single Imperial officer now should have pinless legs. And that's just the main thing is if you're going to do a Director Krennic, you easily could have updated him with modern articulation.
So I actually had Director Krennic on my list, and I'm going to adjust my order because since you already mentioned it, there's no point in me saving this for the end, but I actually had him as my number one.
Really?
I had him at the top
As
because
the worst figure of the year, really?
well, because again, it's why? Like, why come out with that figure? The
Because we see him in Andor is why.
No, I understand that, but
and it's a cheap, easy repaint.
True. And they did give him the updated the head sculpt, but the rest of that figure with the cape and the pins, like, it's just bad. And then on top of that, it came out right at the same time as the Target exclusive dress uniform. And so, you know, if you Krennic, I don't know if you remember 2016. There were a lot of Krennics. There were a lot of Krennics sitting around. And I don't know if you remember, say, like 2018, there were still a lot of Krennics hanging on the pegs. You went into a Walgreens. I bet you there's probably a couple of Walgreens down in LA that if I went into them today, there might be a Krennic still there.
Probably.
So it didn't make sense, especially with them coming out with a totally brand new figure within weeks of when that re-release came out. So I will dethrone it from my number one, but that was just that one kind of bugged me that they would just waste that space for a figure like that. Like, you know, give them the cloth cape.
Yeah,
give them
I think that was the
cape
biggest
that
thing
came with the exclusive one. Like, you're already done.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that the figure is good because I don't think the figure is good. I just don't think it's the worst figure of the year.
Well, it's not going to be mine anymore. So that was I'll put that in my slot for number 8.
So I'm on to number 7 now.
So you're on to number 7.
Okay, number 7 is an interesting one, and unless if you bought this figure, you probably wouldn't even know that this is a problem. But with the 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith Count Dooku, that figure sucked compared to the original release. The cape was like really short. Like Count Dooku's cape goes down to his feet. The 20th anniversary version, it like stopped at his like knees. It was like a short cape, and then I want to say the photoreal likeness was off too compared to the original version. It just wasn't as good, and it's one of those things where like we shouldn't be getting figures in 2025 that are, you know, 5 years later. The original Count Dooku came out in 2020. 5 years later, it should not be a worse figure. And I still think Count Dooku's a great figure. It's one of the best Black Series figures ever made. So this one's not bad. But as far as like just holding up to today's standards, it shouldn't be worse than the original release.
And especially when they just showed off pictures of the Jedi Dooku, and the cape on that looks so sick. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I didn't put him on my list because he's one that I got in a lot on eBay, and I got all my footage to do my review, and I was like, yeah, the cape is not working for me. Not necessarily for the length. Like, I absolutely see what you're saying, but just the way it sat, it looked weird. And I was like, oh, is this what the original one was like? Because I know I had that one and I got rid of it. But anyway, it's off my radar because I don't even own it anymore.
Yeah. What's your number 7?
So I got this set with.
No, you cannot put Cal on your list.
No, it's actually not. I just wanted it right here so I could do that to you. No,
pass the test. The podcast can continue.
My number 7 is Turgle from that Cal Kestis set.
That's fair.
This figure. So we've had conversations off stream where I have criticized the look of the mullet and handlebar mustache. And it has totally grown on me. This figure is so cool. They had this on sale on Amazon a couple weeks ago, so I picked it up, and I love it. But I got it for this figure, and I actually I didn't even bother putting keeping the other head on it at all. I have that on another Jedi figure somewhere. Oh, here it is. I put it on my Jedi Master Soul.
Yeah.
But yeah, this figure's great. The Turgle, not really a fan. The sculpting on it is interesting. The articulation, I get why he is limited with the articulation, because I think if you put too many joints, he would topple over.
Yeah.
But I didn't play the game, so I don't know too much about the character. But from the screenshot or the little video clips that I've watched, he pretty much is like the Jar Jar Binks of that game. And
he's a comedy relief.
I just wish that they would have put. I wish they would do sets that have a cowl with a look, because there were so many different ways you could go with the design of that character, and then another cool character from the game, and they could have done multiples of that, and so that there's going to be a couple of them on my list where that's the reason where I'm like, this just doesn't work, you know?
Yeah. I don't have anything against Turgle. I like Jedi Survivor. I like Turgle. The figure is just kind of mid. It's a 5 POA, 4 POA figure. So it's just like, okay. I mean, it's great for a background alien if you want to throw him in your cantina, your Jabba's palace. It's great. But, you're paying like the full 2-pack price for this set. Like I wouldn't count it as like a full second figure. And so like I understand that.
All right, buddy. Number 6.
Number 6 is another Jedi Survivor figure. It's the white chocolate KX security droid.
Did that come out this year?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, is that the one with the destroyer droid?
That came with the destroyer droid, yeah.
Okay.
I think the destroyer droid is awesome. The KX security droid that came with it, it's like this white color. It's like a white chocolate color, and it just doesn't look good. I like the black K2SO better.
Didn't they come out with that figure as a holiday figure already?
Didn't
they have a white KX droid as a holiday figure like a couple years ago?
They probably do.
Maybe it's
just everything as a holiday figure. So
that's true. I actually removed all the holiday figures off of my list because I was like, it's just gonna be like,
yeah. I didn't put any holiday figures on mine. I don't like any of them, but I don't count them as real figures.
And that's why I took it off. I had the Dathomir Witch was up on my list, and I was like, you know what? It's a subset. It's kind of one of those where like buy it if you want it, disregard it if you don't. It's not going to affect anything really. But I just yeah, I can see that. The destroyer droid looks cool from that set, but I will have no interest in it unless it's severely discounted or shows up at Ross like the 3-pack with the
I don't know. That's an Amazon exclusive. How is that showing up at Ross?
I found 2 of them, $21.99.
Yeah, it's a good figure. I like that one a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, my number 6, and this isn't anything to say about the quality of the figure itself, but again, just the way that it was exhibited, the way that it was released, and that is Sebulba.
Okay.
I think that bringing that figure out as a single release, even though it was a fan channel wave, it's just a wasted opportunity. That could have been a 2-pack with Anakin Skywalker with the pod racer helmet. And since they're both smaller figures, you could have put some pit droids, you could have put some world building stuff, maybe Watto, make it a 3-pack with Watto, or Ben Quadraneros.
Ben Quadraneros.
As a 3-pack, like that would have been great. And you could have come out with the figure and it would have been awesome. But I've seen that at my GameStop several times. And I'm like, I can't justify spending $26 on that single figure. But had it come out in a multi-pack, I probably would have ended up getting it.
Yeah. So. No, I completely agree. I didn't buy this figure. I think it looks great. The sculpting's awesome. The engineering is amazing. I just don't care enough about Saboba to buy it, though. I've got a good Phantom Menace display. I've got the main characters. Saboba's not a main character enough to need unless if you have like a specific pod racing scene with pod racing, like pit droids and Anakin with a pod racing helmet, like an environment and world building to go around it. I just don't think that it's worth getting unless if you're buying it for a Jabba's Palace display. That's the only reason I would get it.
So what I hear you saying is you don't bet every on Saboba.
I wish I could do that. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Your Jedi mind tricks don't work on me.
Only money.
Only money.
I used to do Watto all the time. I would annoy the people on my crew because I would get on the walkie and just do all kinds of different voices, Captain Jack Sparrow or Watto, and they'd just be like, "Dude, just stop!" And I'm like, "You can't fire me. I'm gonna do what I want." Okay, we have gotten through the first half of our lists. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is actually going to the Amazon exclusive Emperor and Throne re-release set. And this is a set that I have the original version of, and the original version is amazing. It is a top, I don't know, maybe 20 figure of all time. Like, it's a great figure. The accessories are good. The throne is awesome. It's world building that I love. And the only reason I would ever buy this Amazon set is to get the throne and throw out the Palpatine figure because they didn't tailor the robe. You can buy the $9.99 Emperor Palpatine at Ollie's and get the robe with the stitching, but the one in this Amazon $50 Amazon set doesn't have the stitching, and so his robe just poof. It doesn't sit right. It doesn't look good. It's horrible, and all of the advertising shows the older figure, and it's false advertising for one, but two, it is just such a downgrade from the third release now of that version of Palpatine, because we got a 40th anniversary Empire, we got an archive, and the original set on the throne, and so the third release of that set, and now the fourth one, it just sucks. There's no reason that should have ever happened.
When I was going through putting together my list, that popped up as being a release in 2025, and I was like, did they come out with a Palpatine this year? Like, did they? And I wasn't sure, so I didn't put it on the list, but I didn't actually get that figure set. I do remember a lot of criticism when it came out. So yeah, only because I didn't know for sure that it had come out this year. I just wrote it off. I didn't put it on the list, but that is a great pick.
Yep.
And that's one of those things where it's like, why go backwards? You know,
Mm-hmm.
you had it already done. Like, and it just, some stuff like that doesn't make sense to me. Is like, the design was already there, so why not just recreate it? I mean, how much money?
Why remove that?
What's that?
Like, why remove it? I feel like it'd be more expensive to change the production of it than just re-release it how it was.
Right. I mean, they could have gone in and gotten all of the archive figures and just ripped them out of the package and put them on the throne. They made brand new figures that were of lesser quality than the ones that were already readily available.
Yep.
Okay. Speaking of figures that were readily available and not good, my number 5 is the Target exclusive Range Trooper from Andor.
Okay.
I ended up getting one of those right when it came out, and I remember having the one from Solo and liking the design of it, but when I got this new one, I was like, well, why did I get rid of it in the first place? Like, this is a really cool looking figure. And I remembered that the boots on the original one were really, really loose.
Mhm.
And this new one, I seem to remember, I got rid of him too. I seem to remember the ankles being loose again, even though the legs were different.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that's dumb. But then also they gave him the rocket launcher, and I don't know if it was a brand new sculpt for a rocket launcher or
It
if they
is. It is a brand new sculpt.
it doesn't fit in his hands.
You can't hold it to save his life.
And so I'm just like, okay, so they changed the legs, and the boots still had the problems from what I remember. I remember the ones with the gravity or the grav boots or the magnetic boots. Those were really bad, really bad. But then the rocket launcher, and then on top of that, it came out like a month after the episode where the range trooper was in for 5 seconds aired, and it's like we're getting into this range where the figures that I'm seeing as bad, it's not that they're just horribly made, it's that when they came out when they actually hit the stores, it was completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
And so nobody cared. So at my Target, there were probably 20 range troopers that they clearanced out for, $5-6 a pop because nobody cared. So
Yep.
anyway.
Yeah, I remember they started showing up in Toys R Us in Canada's like right when Andor season 2 was releasing, and my dad just happened to be in, I want to say Toronto, for like a business trip, and I'm like, you gotta get me one, like please go buy Toys R Us, please. And so I got one a month early, which was nice, but it was like $50 Canadian because
Wow.
crazy price, but.
And also shout out to your dad because he
Yeah.
is awesome for doing that for you. That is so cool.
Absolutely.
Lukeness Dadster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And then the figure sucked anyway, but it was worth getting it early. I got a review out early, which was
It's
nice.
a thought that counts.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, what do you have?
Number 4 is a figure I didn't actually buy, and I gave it to Jedi Master Venestra. And it's just because I don't care about the character. I just think I like. There's parts of the Acolyte I really like. I really loved the Jedi detective mystery that was going on in the first like 2 or 3 episodes, and then they killed off all the Jedi that I liked, and nothing mattered anymore. And I still really like the Jedi because they're Jedi. They look good on the shelf. So I went out and I bought Sol and the Padawan there, and I bought Yord and Kelnaka. I bought them all because I like the Jedi. I think they're going to look cool on the shelf no matter what, whether or not I like what happened with their characters.
Right.
But Venestra was barely in the show. I didn't like her character in the show. And I think as far as Jedi robes go, she has like the least cool Jedi robes. Why does she not just have normal Jedi robes? And I think that's why she made my list. I don't care, and it's not a cool looking figure.
I actually had her as my number 3, but I swapped her down to my number 4 because we might as well talk about her. Yeah, I agree. She was on my list for that same reason, or same reasons that you brought up, but also they put her in the Jedi Temple robes instead of the field robes where she actually does cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of a waste. But also when they do the soft goods robes that don't have sleeves, it doesn't give the cloth anything to anchor to, and it tends to be really floaty and not sit well, and it slides on the shoulders, and it just looks bad. And yeah, I have seen her in the store. a few times, but because I am not invested in the show, I got Soul, I got Yord, I got Jeki, and I got what's the
Kelnaka.
I did have a Kalnaka, but I got rid of him. And I did have what's the Carrie Ann Moss character? What's her name?
Oh,
Indara.
yeah.
I had her too, but I got the Indara because I am a fan of Carrie Ann Moss, not because she did anything in the show that was of substance, because they killed her off in the first 10 minutes and she showed up in a flashback, and that just well, spoilers if you haven't seen the show, but
Yeah, no, I agree.
but also spoilers, don't waste your time because it's not that great.
I'm gonna go on a little bit of a side tangent.
Go for
it. This is a video that I've got to do on the Lukeness TV channel. Shout out, go check out that channel.
There's a Lukeness TV channel? Please tell me more.
We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. Go check it out. Link in the description. But you know,
should that be the cold open?
Sure, if you want to. Yeah, I mean, I cover video or movies and TV shows and pop culture in general. But like the Acolyte had such huge potential to save Star Wars. It genuinely is in a perfect time period we've never explored before, but it still involves the Jedi and the Sith and this, you know, this deep Star Wars lore and culture that we've like learned so much about, we've only heard about. And I think a good example of this was like the Tales of the Jedi episode where you see like young Dooku. There's so much like Jedi stuff there that's going on that you never see in the Phantom Menace. It's just it's like a whole nother perspective. And there was so much opportunity for that in the Acolyte, and they just made it weird. Like I absolutely loved the plot of you know, this idea that, you know, Soul and the rest of these Jedi are like trying to find the secret Sith murderer, this like kind of detective thriller. It was great. And then it ended in the 4th episode and everybody died and you killed off all the characters that were actually interesting. It had such great potential, and I feel like there was like a writing team A that had such a great idea, and then Disney's like, we're gonna fire all of writing team A, and here's a writing team B to come in and mess everything up. I don't know. They had such a great idea, and so they scrapped it by the 4th episode and changed everything. I don't know.
That's the going off on a little bit more of a tangent. I see that as an issue with people that are artists that are given the keys to make Star Wars, but don't necessarily understand what Star Wars is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's probably going to be a lot of people that would disagree with me on this. But great filmmakers can be great filmmakers in a certain time doing a certain thing. Mm-hmm. But just because somebody is a great storyteller or a great filmmaker doesn't mean that they can do all the stories. And the thing with Star Wars, I will die on this hill, is that it's not really about the movies. The Star Wars is popular because we take these things and we go home and we play with them. That's what made Star Wars the cultural phenomenon. The movie did well. It was great in 1977 and hit at the right time. But it was the toys that really kept it going. And when they came back and started doing the toys in 1995, again, there were novels and there were comic books and a couple of video games that were on the horizon. There were no movies, but the toys are what has kept Star Wars going from 1995 till today. 30 years later, it's the toys that are driving this whole thing. And when you create content where the characters just die off, then we are less incentivized to go buy the thing and go play with them, or put them on our shelves, or keep them in boxes, or go to comic conventions and get them autographed. We are less inclined to do that unless we are invested in the characters. And I think that we will be more invested in the characters if we can continue the adventure beyond just the media. And I think that they're course correcting now. But I mean, look at Rogue One. That movie was fantastic. The toys bombed because they killed everyone.
Yeah. I also think the toys for Rogue One bombed because I think it's one of those things. It's such like an integral part of like the story for A New Hope, and then you never see any of those characters in A New Hope, and so people don't like care about getting the figures. It's like oh, I want to put Jen Erso next to my Han, Luke, and Leia. Oh, but she's dead, and so like, but that's why I think like some of like the Andor figures, they do a little bit better. I mean, I go back and forth. It depends on the design for Andor figures. But I guess maybe a good example is some of like the Jedi Survivor figures, where it's happening at the same time, but it's its own coherent story, and it's its own thing, and so you can buy the figures for it, and it doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the Star Wars trilogy. And so it's not like you need to put it next to your Han, Luke, and Leia. And I think that's why some of those, I think that's why Rogue One didn't do as well, because it's so integral to the original trilogy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would also argue that the reason why Cal Kestis is so popular is because he's still alive.
Yeah, that's probably part of it. He's also just a well-written character. But
yeah, that's the other thing. They got to figure out how to make people fall in love with the characters, and that I think is part of it. We've talked about this before. In 1999, everyone ran out and bought Jar Jar Binks toys and merchandise, and that little candy thing with the tongue that sticks out.
Lollipop tongue.
Everyone bought it because they didn't know anything about Jar Jar Binks. And then the movie came out, and it was too late to return everything.
Yeah.
So I think that is a huge problem with what Disney has done. Is they're like, oh, we're going to gatekeep everything. We're going to keep it a secret, and we're going to reveal it down the line, and the product will come out later because Star Wars has legs, and that used to never be the case. Mm-hmm. Almost all the product was out in front of the movie. They had figures out a month or two in advance. With mild spoilers, you just kind of went along with it, and then they would have another 2 or 3 waves of figures that came out after the fact that would have, like, they had the burned up Anakin for Revenge of the Sith, and they had the Darth Maul figure that split in half a year after, or 6 months after the movie came out, so that they didn't spoil those certain things, but they were front loaded. And specifically with, I mean, a lot of the figures I have on the rest of my list are from the Acolyte, because the figures came out 6 months, 8 months, a year after the show. Nobody cares at that point,
Yep.
So speaking of, what's your number 3?
It is from the Acolyte. I'm sure it's on your list too. I give it to Basil, or the Jedi Tracker. Who cares?
He was my number 2, but we'll switch him.
Like, I don't have a ton to say other than just who cares? I didn't like him in the show, and I don't want the figure of him.
I think that they thought maybe he would be as cute and popular as Grogu.
I think they were thinking like Ewok, but
same difference. The cute, cuddly character that is not the battle hardened warrior. But yes, to your point, yes. Why? And then also, coming out with a smaller figure like that and not having any accessories or world building thing that give you more perceived value. I mean, what did he just had like a little panel thing, didn't he?
Yeah, just like a little control panel or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, I
iPad.
just. So yeah, that was my number 2, but we'll just.
I'm taking all your figures.
That's all right. I'm glad that I thought we were going to be more controversial. Like, I mean, if your number 1 is the Episode 3 Anakin, I'm going to be like, what?
So my number 1. No. Well, I will jump into my number 2.
Go for it.
I gave it to the 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith Magna Guard. I had such high hopes for this figure, and it sucked. It just wasn't good. It has all the same problems that the Clone Wars Magna Guard had, where it can't stand, the knees are loose, you can't really pose them very well, the shoulder pads fly off, the little electro effects on the staff fall off. He's just a hard figure to display and put on the shelf. That's what I want to do. I want him to look cool and just stand there, and he's hard to do that. But he also has a problem with the cape not being tailored like the original one. Like before, there's this little piece where it attached on both sides of the shoulders, and so it actually draped across his back. With this newer version, it only attaches to one shoulder, and so it just falls down the other side. Like it doesn't go across his back like a cape. It's like a Boba Fett side cape, and it's not how it should be. I don't know why it is that way. They just didn't do it right, and it just sucks. And I had such high hopes for this figure because I wanted to like it so bad.
The only Magna Guard I have is the one from the 3-pack with the Super Battle Droid.
And that one's good. That one doesn't have the same problems. I don't know why that one doesn't have the same problems, but they fixed it in that set. They didn't fix it for the stupid 20th anniversary set.
Although I will say, as soon as I pulled it out of the blister bubble, the shoulder pads went flying off, and I was like, "Oh no, I am not gonna like this." And so I tucked it in a baggie really quick, and I don't think that I'll end up keeping it just for that exact reason. If it falls off the shelf, I'm losing the shoulder pads, and I'm never gonna see them again.
Yep, pretty much.
My number 2, I actually gave to Kelnaka.
Okay.
From the Acolyte. I think it's a neat sculpt. It's definitely an interesting character, but he had 5 minutes of screen time and then he dies. And the figure came out way too late. Like it just, those sat on the pegs. Yeah. I saw them getting clearanced out, and I think I ended up on occasion, my target when they have stuff where it reaches the end of its clearance cycle and just comes up as 0. They just want to get it out of the store. So they're like $5.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I paid $5 for my Kelnaka at Walmart. So
yep.
Wish I bought more than one, to be honest, but I didn't. So
because we do giveaways on the Lukenessmonster channel.
Subscribe right now.
You're gonna launch into a whole other pitch.
No, so I understand what you're coming from. Like I said, I don't like what the Acolyte did, but I think Kelnaka and Saul and Jecki and Yord all get a pass because I think they're good figures. Regardless of what I think of the characters, they're Jedis. They look good on the Jedi shelf. And what's cooler than a Wookiee Jedi? I think they look good. And so he gets a pass. He didn't make my list. I don't like the character, but I think the figure is good. It's a good toy. So
if Yord had come out this year, he would have made my list.
Yeah.
Because the face sculpt looks a little weird to me.
He's got a long neck too.
He's got a long neck, and his Jedi robes are asymmetrical. I have a feeling that maybe this was kind of like a hidden thing that they wrote in, because he was so, like, we see him trying to be so prim and proper. Like at one point, isn't he ironing his robes?
Yeah, probably.
And then the figure, like the inner tunic part is off. Like there's like one side where it's painted extra and the other side it's not. Bugs the crap out of me. And like the Saul is great. It's symmetrical. I love it. And I like the action. The Yord, yeah, if it had come out this year, it'd probably be my number one, because my OCD kicks in and I'm like, no, no, that's not good. All right, number one.
I gave the number one spot to the New York Comic-Con Chancellor Palpatine.
I thought you might.
Yeah, I again, another one of those figures I just had such high hopes for. I mean, we don't have a Chancellor in the line until now, and this is, the Senate. We have the Senate as a figure, and it doesn't look right. Like, his robes clearly have texture, and it's like this suede, almost velvety material, and then they just give him like this plain cloth. Like, you didn't have to do this velvety material. They could have easily done it if they wanted to. You could have tailored a velvety material, because we've seen fur on figures, and we've seen soft material. We've seen different types of cloth, but instead they just picked the cheapest, most bland cloth ever, and
Right.
they could have printed on it. They could have printed those details on, because we see the Barriss Offee has printing on her cape and robes, and half the other soft goods figures have printing on their robes. They could have easily printed the design onto this, and it would have been a 10 times better figure, and they didn't, and it sucks, and I just want it to be good, and it's not. I really want to like the figure, because I really wanted that version of Palpatine. I want that as like the flagship of my Palpatine on display, and I can't because it sucks.
And for me, I don't have that set. Because I was locked out from getting it because I don't have Pulse Premium. But that cuts the deepest, because the soft goods on the Sidious were so good.
They were so good.
And so you go from that to something that is a premium because it's an exclusive, and then that's what you get. I will say, though, I wonder if they're going to do a single release of that Palpatine, and maybe they will update the robes and make it more of that like velvety thing.
I'd be a dream come true if they did, but then they've just suckered a good like $200 out of me, because I bought 2 of those stupid New York Comic-Con sets.
And then
And
they'll have one because you got suckered into it twice. That's what Palpatine would do.
Yeah. They're playing the long game here.
he'd make you buy
Here's your mercenary Palpatine with the proper velvet robes. Target exclusive.
Oh no, it'd probably be like a Walmart exclusive, so you'd never see it. Although they did pretty good this year with their releases.
Really, they did good with their 20th anniversary ones.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. It's weird to see that some of those will show up in stores, but their normal exclusives won't. But that's a story for another time.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
What's your number one spot?
Distribution turkeys.
That's a 2 episodes at least.
My number one is actually SM33.
Really?
Yeah. Mostly for the availability. I love the engineering of it, but I like the fact that it telescopes up. I think that's gonna make it a problem down the line. Like, if you have that figure and if you've extended it and compressed it a bunch of times, those joints are going to get really loose, and it's going to fall over, and it's going to break. Mm-hmm. The little rat thing is a great idea.
You're so going to lose that. You're never going to see it.
That is done. That's going to get dropped into the carpet, and you're going to find it.
And you're going to think that, like,
you're not even going to know what it is.
You're going to like, I'm infested by like rat fetuses.
Right. But it just the timing of it.
Yeah.
That figure came out, and it was at my Target, and then like 2 weeks later, they had already marked it down, not clearanced it, but they had discounted it down like $5 because nobody wants it.
Yeah.
And good.
So my Walmart has a full peg full of them, like 20 of them, and they're gonna get clearanced out in a while.
At my Walmart, they came out and I think they were $32.97, and then they were sitting there. They're still sitting there. They changed the tag. It's now $39.97.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things. Like I like Skeleton Crew, I genuinely do, but I just don't think I need the figures from it. It's just they're not that they're not toyetic, because they are toyetic. I think I think SM33 is a great toy. It's a great looking figure. For starters, the price, I don't want to pay $40 for it. But two, it's just maybe if I could have went down to the store whenever I was watching Skeleton Crew, I would have actually wanted it. But Skeleton Crew wasn't connected enough to everything else for me to want it.
Right.
I feel like there's more lore they could have put into it. Like, you've got this mystery pirate Jedi who has Force abilities, and they never explain it. How did you not explain that was he a Jedi? Was he trained by a Jedi?
Because that was supposed to be season 2 when they finally got into that story.
Why? See, now this is a whole thing where I always get upset whenever TV shows like waste their best ideas in season 1, and so whenever it's like, oh my god, that's the best TV show I've ever seen, and then everything else after sucks. Great example is the Flash TV show from like the Arrowverse or whatever. Season 1 is amazing, and it just gradually goes downhill after that because they waste all their ideas. But then I hate when TV shows, their first season sucks because they saved all of their ideas for future seasons. And then it's like, okay, well, now your show's canceled because you didn't give any good ideas in the first season. And I love Star Wars, but I just feel like there's another nail in the coffin with every single piece of media that comes out.
Yeah. Here's hoping that Mandalorian and Grogu breathe new life.
It's gonna be peak. It's gonna be peak. Please let it be peak.
I'm hoping like that they went all out, and then I'm hoping that also when they realized that the Acolyte didn't work, that they kind of doubled down on Mandalorian and Grogu and put more money into it, added more action sequences to it. If it leads into what would be their version of Heir to the Empire, it could be fantastic. If I have a feeling, my gut instinct is that all the stuff that we know about it is just the first half hour, 45 minutes of the movie, and that what it actually ends up being about is Mandalorian versus Thrawn. And that would be incredible. And I would be all in for it because it would lead into the next cool thing.
That's another pet peeve. Like, we're just talking about Star Wars now in general. So I'm going to continue the conversation because it's great conversation. So I hope all of the viewers are interested in it too. They're not just here for the turkeys, but that's my biggest thing with Star Wars was the Mandalorian got me back into Star Wars. The number 94 Mando is the reason I'm sitting here today with 20,000 subscribers, was because I love the Mandalorian. It is generally one of my favorite pieces of all of Star Wars. Season 1 was great. Season 2 was honestly just as good, if not better. Season 3 was okay. I know there's a lot of haters for season 3. I don't hate it. I think it has its moments, it has its downsides, but it's okay overall. But my biggest problem is that you're expanding this. I call it the Mandoverse. You've got Mandalorian, you've got Book of Boba Fett, you've got Ahsoka, and I guess technically Skeleton Crew. And you're building out this timeline of where you want the story to go next, and you're connecting the dots between Return of the Jedi and Episode 7. But Mandalorian came out in 2019. Season 2 came out in 2020. And then I guess Boba Fett would have been 21 or 22. And then season 3 was 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And then we haven't gotten Jack Diddley since 2023. It's been 2 years.
Nice
Why?
save.
We haven't gotten Jack Diddley squat. I just like I'm invested in this story, and we're not getting anything for it. Why did Ahsoka season 2? Ahsoka season 1 came out my first semester in college.
Mm-hmm.
I am now a junior. I'm almost done with my 5th semester of college. Why is Ahsoka season 2 not going to be out for like another year and a half? Like, if they're building up to this big Heir to the Empire like throwdown, why is it going to take 10 years for it to happen? It should not take 10 years. And that's just the thing, is like, I'm invested in the story, but after 2 years now, it's going to be 2.5 years by the time this next movie comes out. Am I going to care? Like, you're focusing on Acolyte and Skeleton Crew and all these animated shorts that don't do anything for anybody. And it's just, make the stuff that I care about and don't make me wait 10 years to get it.
Mm-hmm. No, I 100% agree. And the thing is that, like, see, I grew up with, you had to wait 3 years to get the next movie and find out where the story went. And then there was that eventual payoff. And then when the prequels came out, I mean, that was, we had the brief moment of the 20th anniversary special edition theatrical releases, where we got to see Star Wars back in theaters, and it kind of brought it back. And then the prequels, but then prequels every 3 years we had to wait. So I'm fine with waiting if what I am waiting for is satisfying. I get what you're saying is you're having to wait, but then what ends up coming out just isn't
worth waiting for.
It doesn't scratch the itch. It doesn't fulfill you in the way that the big movies did. And I think that's what they're going for with Mandalorian and Grogu. But they need a win. If they don't win with Mandalorian and Grogu, there are unsubstantiated rumors swirling that Disney might just sell off Star Wars or Lucasfilm and be done with it. Because
to be honest, I wouldn't be upset either, because I feel like any other company is going to be doing better than what Disney's been doing.
Could you imagine if Netflix bought Star Wars?
I don't know if I want Netflix to buy Star Wars, but I don't know. I just want it to be good, and I hate being so excited for these shows. I was so excited for Acolyte and so excited for Skeleton Crew, just to watch it and be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just,
what if next year all of our turkeys are from Mandalorian and Grogu?
I don't think that's going to be the case, because I think Mando and Grogu is going to be peak. I think it's going to be so good. And see, that's why I'm really nervous for the Ryan Gosling Starfighter movie, because I think there's going to be two things that's going to happen. That movie's going to be really good, or it's going to suck. I don't think there's going to be any in between. It's going to get the highest of praises, or it's going to get like, this is Acolyte level trash. And I think the problem is they set it so far in the future. Like, isn't it set like post Rise of Skywalker?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's 40 years past what everything were with the Mandoverse. It's 40 years later.
Yep.
And it's just, you've already got this established timeline of everybody hates the sequels. Everybody hates everything to do with the sequels. Let's place a movie that takes place post the sequels. Nobody's gonna care, because if you tie it to anything related to the sequels, everybody's gonna crap on it. And if you don't tie it to anything related to the sequels, everybody's gonna be like, it doesn't feel like Star Wars. There's not enough Star Wars there to connect it to. That's good.
But Luke, do you know what will make them care?
Ryan Gosling.
Rey. Put Rey in it. That's the rumor. Sorry
I don't
if I
want to see
spoil
Rey. I
anything.
don't want to see Rey.
Can I tell you what the I don't know if this is true.
Go for it. I don't care.
The rumor is that he's trying to get the kid to Rey so that she can train him.
I just don't care. Why? I think everybody knows that nobody cares about the sequels. The sequels ruined Star Wars. Why are we just gonna try and fix it? Why do we want to try and fix it? I hate being such a Debbie Downer. Just avoid the sequels. Like I obviously there's the rumor that Lucasfilm presented Disney with this script for the hunt for Ben Solo or something, whereas Ben Solo was actually alive after Rise of Skywalker. Mm-hmm. And everybody's so upset. They're up in arms that Bob Iger and Disney so horribly canceled this production after they already paid millions of dollars to finish the script. Do you know why they canceled it? Because everybody hates the sequels. This movie would have, if this movie wasn't canceled and they greenlit it and everybody said, we're getting a new Ben Solo movie, everybody would be crapping on it because they're like, we don't care about Ben Solo. We don't like the sequels. Why is this a movie?
Right.
It's such a catch-22, and I hate that everybody's up in arms about this canceled Ben Solo project. I don't care.
Can we just have this moment where this version of you is downness monster, like
downness, angriness monster, just monster,
just monster,
just
monsterness monster,
monster.
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 Well, let's try and pick things up away from the. I love this conversation, and I could talk to you all day about it.
Yeah, we got very sidetracked there.
No, dude. This is I mean, episode aside, show aside, this is one of the reasons why you're such a good friend to me, is that like we can just talk about this stuff and jump from topic to topic, and like I will continue to always want to talk to you about every subject all the time, just because I just love it. You're awesome.
Well, I'm sure we're going to be covering plenty of these Star Wars topics on somewhere on Earth.
What's that? While we're plugging things,
you guys are gonna have to wait to find out.
Oh, okay.
Just a little team.
We've talked briefly about it, but there are things in the works. Do you have any dishonorable mentions? Any ones that didn't quite make the list but are close?
I don't think so. Like the holiday figures, maybe. But no, I don't think I did. I honestly had trouble finding 10 that I didn't like, because number 10 with the Luke, I generally like that figure. Like I don't think I have any that I don't like. Like there just wasn't enough bad figures this year to add dishonorable mentions for me, I think.
I disagree. I came up with so many.
Oh no.
No, just a couple. Dagan Gera. Not because it was a bad figure, but because I don't know why they released it as a single boxed figure. There was a version of it that came in the 2-pack. I think that's one of those where they should have done a 2-pack with a Cal Kestis in a specific look from the game, and Dagan Gera.
And Dagan, yeah.
I think they should have done another version of Cal Kestis and put him with Bodhi. I think they should have done, instead of doing Turgle, I almost had Night Sister Marin on my list, not because it was a bad figure. That figure is incredible. Put it in a 2-pack with one of the versions of Cal, and then they could have done the each version of that Cal maybe has 2 different heads, and also has a different set of the colored blades for the lightsabers. So each one has the crossguard, the double bladed, and then the split sabers. But you buy this version and it has the white blades. You buy the version that comes with Marin and it has orange blades. And then you could swap them amongst the different ones that you wanted to get the look of Cal that you wanted. For like your final one, and then it's not clogging the pegs with things that not everyone is going to want. The main releases, I think, should be the key characters that are going to hit a broader audience, not gaming greats. If you're going to do gaming greats, it should be a Kyle Katarn. It should be a Star Killer. It should be these like the main characters of the games, not the random villains and side characters.
And repaints. They're cheap repaints is why. I guess other than Dagon, but
right. The other version, and this is the other, my only other dishonorable mention that I'll bring up, is actually the Ahsoka Anakin. This is a great figure. It is. Don't get me wrong. It's a great figure. Could have been in a 2-pack with an Ahsoka from the flashback scene. And if you're going to the trouble to make this figure as a holdout before you come out with this goat, then they put the soft goods on it. I totally get it. But the arms are so bad with the soft goods. Like, you're just putting it out to put it out. And because you know you can make the money on it. And at that point, like, give him the new head sculpt, but just give him the regular soft good, or not soft goods, the overlay robes, so that it doesn't make the arms look all weird. Because the Obi-Wan that they came out with has the overlay, so it doesn't even, like, it just, again, my OCD that bugs me to have this on the shelf next to my Clone Wars Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing with that figure is that we've got such a good Anakin now with the legs that are pinless. I would have much rather waited 6 months to a year to get that Anakin if it meant I got the pinless legs. So it's one of those things, like, they knew they were making that Anakin and they chose to use the pinned legs on purpose, and that's what I don't like. I would have much rather waited for the better version.
Right. And they could have just put the Anakin legs on there and just been like, oh, we updated it for this release, and not even telegraphed that they were going to be releasing this Anakin. So
yeah.
Well, speaking of, the last thing that we need to talk about are our anti-turkeys.
Yep.
So what do you have any? I have 3. But I can talk about them briefly. But
I have 3, and then I have 1 honorable mention.
Go for
it. So obviously my first 2 are Anakin and Obi-Wan. They're the 2 best Black Series figures ever made as of right now. So, they're really good. I think the Black Series is going to struggle to meet up to that quality moving forward. Like, they are such good figures, and there's no way that they're not the best Black Series figures ever made.
This is one of the things that I think we can get into. I want to do an episode where we talk about kind of the status of the Black Series and where we see it going moving forward, the things we like, the things we don't. I think that will maybe be the next episode that I have in our lineup, if you agree. And this is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about, because I have a feeling, I feel like Hasbro has given themselves a little bit of a double-edged sword, because I think I love both of these figures. The Obi-Wan is fantastic and a huge upgrade from the previous releases of the episode 3. The only things that I don't like about it, the only thing is the overlay.
Yeah, I agree. The overlay is the only thing I don't like.
Right. This, in my opinion, is the absolute best Black Series figure that has ever been made.
Absolutely.
And it is all of the peak engineering, the photo reel. They even the way that they designed the arms, you can get him in a 2-handed pose, but it doesn't look weird because he doesn't have that weird like back elbow spike coming out that some of the Jedi figures have. And this is like the perfect figure, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
What that means, though, is how does Hasbro justify releasing anything that came out before this at this point? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, other than I think that this is like the peak of Clone Troopers. This is the best one.
Mm.
And so like you get that, the Rex, it's based on this body. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think that you could justify coming out with any other clones on the 2020 body or the previous.
No, I completely agree. Yeah.
So especially with the price increase, I don't see how they can avoid doing brand new sculpting. I don't. I think that they've been gearing up for it. Like if you look at the new Han Solo, the way that figure is designed, it is lined up to make a Bespin version. It is
Yeah,
lined
absolutely.
up to make a carbonite version and a Han trenchcoat version, because they can just swap the overlays and the lower arms, change the paint color, and you're good. Like the head sculpt is, the hairpiece can be modified to match his haircuts for the other two films. The face sculpt is there. The body is there. Change the overlays for the shirt. Give him the jacket piece. The pants are there. The belt is there. I mean, it's the rest of it is all set. But I don't think they can go back from it.
No, I don't think so. So I think the good point to that is my one of my other anti-turkey, and that's Lieutenant Gale. I think Gale is the peak of Clone Troopers. It's got that 2023 body, but that Revenge of the Sith helmet is so good. I genuinely think it looks like a Hot Toys sculpt for a helmet. I can't justify seeing any other Clone Trooper come to the line that's phase 2 that doesn't have that helmet, because it won't be as good. I don't care if it's animated or from a video game. It's got to have that Revenge of the Sith style helmet. I think that's the Black Series used to be. We're going to go for the most realistic version, and that's what it should be moving forward. Every single Clone Trooper moving forward should have that helmet, and they cannot go back. And that's why I really like Gale too. He's on my anti-turkey list.
I wish that I could agree with you, and I only can't because my Gale does not get here until tomorrow. I ordered it, and it's I tracked the shipping. It should be here tomorrow. If I had it in hand, I would probably agree with you. My third anti-turkey is Jedi Temple Guard.
I have that figure and I haven't opened him yet. So I can't agree with you until I open him.
This figure is absolutely insane. I love it. Top to bottom, it is great. Just be careful when you open yours. If you look, there is this kind of rubberized coating which seals the edges of the soft goods from fraying. It's great, but if you do go to articulate his legs, it does start to tear a little bit. Okay. So just be really careful with that. What I ended up doing is, if I go to move his legs, is I actually kind of tuck this up so it bunches less and pulls on it less. But this figure is so awesome that I've been bugging you about it over the last few weeks, where I love this figure so much that I'm like, I want a video game that is based on the Jedi Temple Guards. And so, I've been sending Luke notes where I'm like, dude, check this out. And then I would do this. And then I would do that. So sorry for the essays.
It's okay. I do have one honorable mention too, and that is the brand new Bespin Luke, which I don't have yet. And that's why it's an honorable mention. It's going to be one of the best figures of the year. But DHL shipping, it takes them 2 weeks to ship a freaking package from 2 hours away. It's in Romeoville, Illinois, which is 2 hours away from me, and it's going to take them 2 weeks to ship it.
Don't you get premium shipping with your Pulse Premium?
No, so actually what happens when you get Pulse Premium, it's free shipping, not premium shipping. So they actually lower your shipping quality. So instead of shipping it through USPS or UPS, they ship it through DHL because it's cheaper. But, I could drive to Romeoville and get it in 2 hours, but instead it's going to take them 2 weeks to ship it.
Oh,
I just keep seeing Instagram posts out of the basement, and Mike Case and everybody else are like, got my Luke and Vader set in today. And I'm like, I pre-ordered this at the exact same time as you. Why am I waiting a week and a half to get it? I paid for full premium. I shouldn't get subpar shipping.
I watched Mike Case's review, and he's like, "Yeah, I live really close to Chicago, and that's where they ship it in Illinois. So I got mine right away." And I was like, "Oh, dude."
Hey, guess what? I live closer to Chicago than Mike Case does. He lives an hour south of me.
He must be like greasing the Hasbro Pulse Premium wheels, or maybe he didn't. Maybe he doesn't have Pulse Premium. Maybe he just ordered it regularly and he paid
for shipping until he actually got it on time.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. Well,
we had quite a few sidetracks today, so I do apologize that, but I hope you guys enjoyed. We have got a long episode coming out.
I love it. Like I said, I could talk to you all day. The only limit to this is the amount of time that we have available to us on StreamYard.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for watching, and we would love to know what your turkeys are. What are your least favorite figures and your anti-turkeys?
Yep, leave them down in the comments below, and make sure to go check out SideQuester's channel. We're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers, so it's linked down below. Make sure to go check him out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's going to do it for this video. So we'll see y'all in the next one.
Bye-bye.